Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the 27 books that I read in the month of November. I feel like last month flew by so quickly with just all the end of year things that are going on, but I had a great reading month, largely because of the NetGalley November readathon that I was doing. I was able to accomplish so much with that readathon and did finally, after probably 2 years of trying, reach my 80% feedback ratio goal, and I'm so happy about that. I was also able to do a lot of bookmas prep in the month of November. That way bookmas this month has not been as stressful for me. In light of both NetGalley November and bookmas prepping, a lot of these books that I talk about today are already featured in vlogs that are out on my channel or will be seen on my channel very soon in bookmas reading vlogs and review videos. So I'm not going to chat about these books super in depth, but I have made it a habit this year to give wrap-ups every single month, and I do want to do that even though so many of these books are already featured in other videos on my channel. So we're going to go ahead and run through the 27 books that I read in November in just a moment, as well as some stats. But first, I do want to say a quick thank you to Everand for being a part of today's video. Everand is an ebook and audiobook subscription platform with thousands upon thousands of content for you to engage with as a subscriber. With an $11.99 a month standard subscription, you get one premium unlock, as well as access to a ton of other content that is available as a subscriber, and then a premium subscription, which is $16.99 a month, gives you access to 3 premium unlocks, as well as a full catalog of other things that you can access as a subscriber. I do have a free trial link in the description down below if you're interested in checking it out. I've been using Everand for, I want to say, 3 months now, and very much enjoy it. It is my new audiobook platform and I think it's great. But now diving into some quick stats for my November reading. I read 27 books, which equals 7,988 pages. I did reach my 80% feedback ratio, which is great because in November I read 15 arcs. I think only 14 of those were NetGalley arcs, but all of those made my ratio go up just enough to reach that 80% threshold that I was trying to go for, and my average star rating was 3.6. So now it's time to go ahead and dive into these books in the order that I read them, and I'll give a quick synopsis and some general thoughts as well as my rating. But again, I'm not going to spend too long talking about these books as so many of them are featured in videos. If they are featured in other videos, I will have them tagged above, and I'll have my bookmas link down below because not all of these videos about these books are out yet. So keep an eye out for my bookmas content if you want more in-depth thoughts on some of these. My very first read for November was a NetGalley arc, and that was Courting Trouble by Kerrigan Byrne. This is a historical romance, my first that I'd read in a long time, which started a train of reading 4 or 5 in the month of November, which I'm very happy about. But this one is about our 2 main characters. One is a doctor, the other one is the daughter of a very prominent businessman, and they have a secret affair when they are teenagers, get separated, but finally get their second chance at love. I have heard great things about this author over the years, but I had yet to read anything myself. This is one of my oldest NetGalley arcs, and I'm so glad that I was finally able to read it. I thought this love story was super sweet. I love a good second chance romance and had a great time with the plot of this one. Next was Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. This was the November Mending Hearts Book Club pick, and I'm giving this one 3 stars. Pretty much every character in this book was lovable except for the main character, the main female character, as well as her father. I felt like our main character, whose name is Ellis, had a lot of growing up to do throughout a large chunk of this one. Made some very selfish choices, and yes, her home life was not great, but even after moving back to Bramble Falls and getting to know all these people there that love her so much, she just kept making decision after decision that I didn't actually love, and I kind of wanted her to end up with somebody else. She did not, which is fine, but I will say that I'm looking forward to the second book in this series, which is going to be about Ellis's cousin. This one is a young adult small town romance about Ellis, who moves to a small town, the town of Bramble Falls in Connecticut, with her mom just in time for all of the fall festival things that go on here. Her mom and dad are splitting up, and her mom has taken her with her to this small town for hopefully a fresh start. They have both, of course, visited before, and when Ellis runs into an old fling in her first kiss from when she was younger, the sparks start to fly, but he is not happy with her for a lot of reasons. I also read The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This plus Courting Trouble are all featured in a reading vlog, which I will have tagged above if you would like to go check it out. This one is a final girl slasher thriller horror about a group of women who are all final girls in some capacity, and when things start happening to this group, our main character is super paranoid and is determined to figure out what is going on while also not wanting other people to find her. This book honestly felt like a fever dream, and although I really struggled with it in the beginning of the book, I did end up finally finding my footing in this one and really enjoyed the back half of it. But again, I don't even know if I remember a ton about this one because it just felt so much like a fever dream. The next 3 books that I read are Christmas romances that I read for a holiday romance reading vlog for Bookmas. I will also have that video tagged above, as it should be out by now. First up for it, I read A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This is a romance, a Christmas romance, about an adult film star who gets placed in the cast of this very family-friendly Christmas movie with the crush that she had as a teenager, who comes from an ex-boy band. His name is Nolan. He is also trying to support his family and is getting into acting by doing so. When they get onto set, the sparks fly. They make this movie and build their romance at the same time. This one was okay. I gave it 3 stars. While I did like both of our main characters, I wasn't in love with them by any means. Bea and Nolan were cute, but not my favorite couple, and I do wish that this book had more Christmassy things going on in it. Yes, they're on a movie set. Yes, they are in a small town that goes all out for Christmas, but I feel like aside from the original descriptions of the town, I didn't feel like this one was overwhelmingly like Christmas, and I kind of wanted more of those holiday vibes to go alongside with the story, especially because just how perfect this town was. There was so much more potential for Christmas in this one. Also for that vlog, I read Matchmaking Under the Mistletoe by Holly Lucky. This one I gave 4 stars. It is a small town Christmas novella. In this book, we follow our female main character who is running away to start a new life, and her car breaks down outside of a small town in Alabama, and in this town they go all out for Christmas, all the Christmas parties and events and Christmas tree lightings, and she ends up getting a temporary job as an event planner in the town, and she falls for the mayor. This book was so cute, had all of the Christmas antics and small town gossiping and just all the Christmas events that made my heart so warm and so ready for Christmas myself. And then finally for that vlog, I read Matching All the Way by Veronica Eden. This book I feel very deceived by, and it is my own fault. I gave this one 3 stars. I thought it was cute in and of itself, but it did not feel like Christmas at all. Yes, it starts with Christmas and it ends with Christmas, but there are chapters in this book that take place in July and August, and Christmas is a very brief cycle of time in this one, where we get to see our 2 main characters, Cole and Eve, actually fall in love. This is a hockey romance, forbidden love, coach's daughter and assistant coach, and this one again was just fine. I feel like the cover is kind of deceiving for the holidays because this book is not really a winter book, and the alternate cover for this one gives Christmas vibes, and I didn't feel them really, so it's fine. The next book that I read will also be featured in Bookmas at some point, so that playlist will be down below. I read Sparks in Iceland by Mandy Lynn Bell. This is a closed-door childhood best friends to lovers romance about our 2 main characters who go on a vacation to Iceland and are finally forced to confront their feelings. I thought this book was so cute. I binged it so quickly. I was absolutely obsessed with our 2 main characters. My only complaint, and the reason that this one was not 5 stars for me, me is that the inclusion of other potential love interests overshadowed so much of our main characters' romances that I felt like I didn't get enough time with them as a couple. I also read the entirety of the Home for the Holidays collection that Amazon published, featuring authors like Laura Pavlov and Mia Sosa. This is a cozy and sweet and clean, no spice holiday romance collection that was so much fun. My favorite one is Merry and Bright by Ali Rosen. I absolutely love this book. It was a great combination of Hanukkah and Christmas and fake dating to fall in love, and overall this collection was great as a whole, so much better than last year's collection that Amazon did for Christmas in my opinion, and I'm giving this collection 4 stars as a whole. I had 1 5-star read in it, 2 4-star reads, and then 1 3-star read inside of the collection. I also read a cute little middle grade chapter book called Love Potion Commotion. This was a NetGalley Read Now arc, 72 pages, and was really cute. This is about a family of witches, and our 2 main characters, our brother and sister, get caught up in a situation where she is trying to make a love potion for the boy that she likes at school and wants to ask to a dance, and her brother has to swoop in to save her. This was such a cute little story. The illustrations were very fun, and I'm excited to see when the rest of the series pops up on NetGalley. Another NetGalley book that I read was Yours for the Season. This is a sapphic romance between our 2 main characters, JT and Allie. JT is recently home from the Olympics. She won, I want to say gold, in women's hockey, and she's home for the holidays and reunites with her best friend's sister. So cute. This one takes place largely after Christmas, like right after Christmas Day, but just the Christmas joy and the small town competitions and things like that happened in this book was so fun, and I really enjoyed how both of our main characters prioritized communication, even though it was hard at times. I gave this book 4 stars. I also read another non-fiction in November, and that was Told You So by Macy Neely. I'm not going to rate this memoir because I don't want to give someone's personal story a negative rating, but this book felt very surface level to me, I guess is the word that I thought of first, and I feel like the editing job on it was not great. I listened to the audio for it, but I also had a copy from Book of the Month, and I was very shocked to hear Macy's voice, who narrated the audiobook, just be so monotone throughout the entire thing, and the chapter breaks were just really awkward. And overall, while I feel for Macy and I'm glad that we kind of got to know a little bit more about her, I feel like the story itself and her past in this book was not anything I didn't already know from the TV show that she is in, and it was a little bit hard to get through at times. There are some very difficult subject matters in this one, so keep an eye out for that if you were interested in picking this one up, but it was not one that I truly resonated with, unfortunately, and I'm not sure I'll read anything else if she continues writing in the future. The next several books that I read are also for another NetGalley reading vlog, which I will have in the cards above. First, for that vlog, I read Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Ely. Gave this one 4 stars. It is my favorite book by the author so far. Thank you so much to Hambright PR and Kensington for the arc of this one. But this is a paranormal thriller about 3 women who are killed by the same man, and in the afterlife they reunite to help stop him from committing any more crimes. This book had some beautiful lines and some beautiful quotes that I tabbed and highlighted, and overall it was just a very quick and sad but also intense story and an intense mystery that I very much enjoyed reading. Also for that vlog, I read The Bridesmaid by Kate Quinn. This is a thriller about a bridesmaid who was killed before one of the most infamous and famous weddings of the year. And it turns out that somebody that this bridesmaid knew is called in to help the case as a forensic scientist, and the truth of what happened is darker than what anybody could have thought. This one was very fun, very quirky and over the top. If you like something very quirky and dramatic and a little bit over the top just in terms of the flamboyancy of wealth in this one, I would still recommend it. I had a great time with it. And finally, for this thriller NetGalley vlog, I read With Friends Like These by Alyssa Lee. I gave this one 2 stars, unfortunately. I was very highly anticipating it, but it was a letdown for me. But this one is about a group of women who have been friends since their college days, and 20 years later they still play this game once a year, but the more they play, the more intense things between them become, and it's hard for them to find the motivation to keep playing. This one was very bland for me. It was a very short read, but I did not enjoy the plot one bit, really. I also read one of my favorite books of the year, which was Best Offer Wins by Marissa Kashino. I do have a review video for this one, but this was a 5-star read for me. It is about our main character, Margot, who is willing to do anything it takes to get the most perfect house in Washington, D.C. We've got stalking, harassment, blackmail, murder, all the things that happen in this one. I was obsessed. Also, a book that is pretty dramatic, has a main character that you love to hate, but this one was just so good. I also read Champagne Taste on a Bad Boy Budget by Zuri Day. This book comes out, I want to say, on December 30th of this year. This is a short and sweet romance that takes place in Kansas City between our 2 main characters. One is the owner of this restaurant that has been her dream for years and years, and she ends up losing her chef to another job. And so she meets this man whose name is Rashad, and he is an ex-felon, has been to prison, but wants a chance to start over at life. And so she ends up hiring him. The sparks fly in and out of the kitchen, and there's a lot of food involved in this one, a lot of great mentions and additions of culture and also community and how to build community within your culture. And this one was so cute. I gave it 4 stars. I had never read anything by this author before, but I do plan to check out more of the author's books because this one was very fun. Another vlog that I have coming out for Bookmas is a winter chilly snowstorm thriller vlog, and I also read 3 books for this one. First up is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. This is a blizzard thriller about a group of people who are on a bus. The bus breaks down, they find a cabin to stay in, and one by one they all start dying. This book was full of twists and turns that I was not expecting. Had a great time with it, and I gave it 4 stars. I also read The Writing Retreat for this video, and unfortunately I give this one 2 stars. This is about a very prestigious writing retreat that takes place at this isolated cabin, and for a month these 5 or 6 writers are invited to come and are put into a competition where they have to write a book in the 30 days that they are there. But the stakes get higher. We've got disappearances, somebody goes missing in a snowstorm, and this one just felt like it went on and on and on and added twists just for the sake of having twists. And I unfortunately did not end up liking it. Every time I thought we reached a fun final twist, something else happened, but it made me feel like the book was just dragging on, unfortunately. This one also was not snowy very much like the other books that I read in this vlog, and you can hear more of my thoughts in that reading vlog when it comes out. For now, just keep an eye on my Bookmas playlist that is down below, but I just did not like this one at all, pretty much. And then finally for that vlog, I read The Overnight Guest. This one is about a true crime writer who is staying at this cabin where a very infamous crime happened, and in the middle of a blizzard, a small child shows up in her backyard, and our main character is determined to find out who this child is, where they've come from, and what is going on. While we are following her POV, we are also getting glimpses of the past and what happened in this cabin in the first place, and how the past and the present end up colliding. This is my first read by this author. So many great snowy, chilly, isolated vibes because of the blizzards that happen. In both this book and Dead of Winter, snow is such a great part of the atmosphere, and that is a part of the reason I love these ones so much. I was looking for books that had that claustrophobic feeling because of the isolation and just the stuck feeling of being in the snow, and this book, as well as Dead of Winter, did that. The Writing Retreat did not for me, unfortunately. 2 more NetGalley arcs that I read included Forbidden Heart. This one is about a soon-to-be nun who needs to be escorted to her uncle's estates, and so a group of men come to help escort her. She ends up falling for one of the men in the group, and this is their love story as they are on the run for a little while. Someone is after them, and her uncle's intentions with her becoming a nun are not great. I gave this one 3 stars. It was cute, not my favorite romance, but I very much enjoyed the plot line of it. I also read Lord of Mistrust. This is a 199-page historical romance, and I also gave it 3 stars. This one was also one of my oldest NetGalley arcs and one that I just really needed to get to, and I did. This one is about a girl who's trying to find her true birth mother and ends up literally running into a man, and he is kind of a spy. They keep going back and forth, they don't like each other, but then he ends up vowing to protect her and they fall in love in the process. This one was also cute, not super memorable for me, but was a fun time, and I am glad that I was able to finally check it off my NetGalley shelf. And then the final 5 books that I read were for a reading vlog that y'all will also see in the next 10 days or so. I'm gonna fly through these ones super quick, and then that will be all the books that I read in November. The first up is Cabin Mate by Leah Bruner. This one is a holiday fake dating romance. It is also closed door. I give this one 3 stars. Just all the talk of wealth was kind of annoying at times, and I didn't feel like this one was super Christmassy. Our main characters were just fine. I didn't feel their chemistry that much, but this one was cute enough. I also read Single All the Way by Kate Watson. This one is a 5-star Christmas novella for me. It is also fake dating. Our 2 main characters get trapped in an elevator together and end up liking each other more during that time. They end up going to our female main character's sister's wedding together and fall in love so quickly. This book was absolutely adorable. Christmas was so interwoven in the plot. The main characters were entertaining. Their chemistry was so present, even though this book is so short, and I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything despite the shorter length. So 5 stars to this one. One of my favorite books of 2025 for sure, and makes me want to read more Christmas books. I also finished The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. Gave this one 4 stars. It is an enemies to lovers historical romance following Anthony Bridgerton, who is the oldest Bridgerton, and his relationship with Kate, who is the sister of the girl that he is trying to court, and their enemies to lovers love story. This one was so entertaining. I love the sibling dynamics in this universe, and y'all, although it was a little bit long to me at times, it was so much fun. In that vlog, I also read Heartstrings by Ivy Fairbanks, another 5-star read and one that I tabbed. This one follows our main characters, Cielo and Aiden, and this is their second chance at love. They dated 2 years prior to the present time. Things did not work out, but now they are forced back together and end up giving their relationship a second chance. This book was so good. There's just something about the way that Ivy Fairbanks writes her characters that makes me just can't help but fall in love with them. There's so much depth and heart and even emotional moments at times, but also entertaining and swoony and spicy times as well. And I just really enjoy Ivy Fairbanks' writing and her storylines. And then finally, to wrap up November, I read It's Not Her. This is an arc that releases in early 2026, and I binged this one as a way to hopefully get a little bit over the 80% feedback ratio on NetGalley. The spinner wheel did me good with picking this one to wrap up this vlog and my November reading. I had a great time with it. I had not yet read anything by the author, but I definitely want to now, and I can see what the hype is all about. But this one is about a family who ends up getting brutally murdered. The parents are murdered, and one of the kids is missing, and so our main character is the sister of the husband that was killed, and she is trying to find the answers. So while we are following her POV, we are also following the POV of the daughter that is missing, and then the lead up to her disappearance. This book went in a direction that I was not expecting, and it very much worked. I was hesitant at first about how much I was actually liking this one, but when the plot twist started to happen, I was so engaged and had to know how the story would end. So I gave this one 4 stars and would recommend. And that wraps up my November reading. I try to go so quick, but I know that there's a lot of books to chat about. Again, a lot of books that I read in November will be featured in videos if those videos are not already out. So I'll have all the videos that I can tagged above, as well as the bookmas playlist tagged down below. If you're interested in any of these that will come out in videos at a future time, let me know what your favorite read from November was, or if you've read any of these books that I chatted about and what your thoughts were on them. But that is all that I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.